cosmic calendar begins on January 1st with the birth of our universe. It contains everything that's happened since then up to now, which on this calendar is midnight, December 31st. On this scale, every month represents about 1 billion years. Every day represents nearly 40 million years. Let's go back as far as we can to the very first moment of the universe.
Wow, welcome back to DBL. That was world-renowned astrophysicist and educator Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's here with us today to celebrate his new book. We have it right here, Cosmic Queries. Neil joins us now. There he is. Hey, Neil.
Hi, Neil.
Yeah, buddy. Hey.
Neil, we are huge fans, and I know that you were overhearing our previous segment. Before we get to your book, and before we have some fun, and we're going to, and this isn't planned, but we wanted to speak to you and get your thoughts. Just being a black man in America, what does Neil deGrasse Tyson feel about police brutality and everything that's been in the news as of such, especially with Daunte Wright?
Well, I grew up in an environment. I grew up in New York City, and my parents gave me, my brother, and my sister the talk, right? When we're 10, 11, 12 years old, this is what you do if the police come, and you say yes, sir, and no, sir, and you do everything they say just to reduce the chance that you might get shot. Because at the time, unarmed black men and boys were getting shot. Now, there's a sort of a perverse measure of progress here in modern times, because back then, to be shot as a black boy or young man in the city was barely local news. Whereas now, if it happens anywhere in the country, it's national news. That's a perverse form of progress.
Yeah.
I guess I'll take it, But the fact that people have recognized it's everybody's problem when this happens, not just the problem of one community and one family and people of one skin color.
Well said. Well said. Tori, did you have a follow-up question before we move on?
Yeah, I also wanted to say, Dr. King always talked about the arc of justice and progress being long, but in the end it bends towards morality and justice. I was going to ask you that basically, do you feel like there is progress being made, even though we see such horrific things over and over and over again, which becomes traumatic for the entire nation?
Yeah, consider that in the 1960s and 70s and 80s, there was no way for you to see what was happening,
right,
because no one had a high-resolution color video camera, all right, in the moment. So I remember looking at the statistics. Things are a little better than they were decades ago. And like you said, that arc of progress towards justice, it bends sometimes not as much as it ought to.
Yeah.
But so what the metrics we use to say things are getting better will have to depend on what matters most at the time. But the fact is, we all have video cameras, and nothing's going to get by any of us. And you'd like to think, you'd want to believe that that's going to make a difference in society.
Amen.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that, Neil. Okay, so we are going to switch gears here, okay? Respectfully, we're switching gears. Now moving on to Cosmic Queries, which narrows down some of the biggest questions about the universe, and probably one of the biggest questions we all have: are we alone in the universe? How do you answer that question, and what do you think?
Yeah, that's an entire section of the book. That's right. Are we alone in the universe?
Yeah, Reader's Digest version, please, if you will.
Just to be clear, this book is not just random cosmic questions people have had. It's the deepest cosmic questions people have ever had. How did it all begin? What's it all made of? What is our place in the universe? Are we alone? How will it all end? And it's a spin-off of a very popular variant of my StarTalk podcast. It's called StarTalk Cosmic Queries, where people ask questions. And I love it because I get to respond to people's curiosity rather than me assuming that I might know where you're coming from. So I love it when people get to come to me. And you want to know if we're alone in the universe? I'm going to say probably not alone. And yes. Yeah, until the alien shows up on your doorstep.
That's true.
I think they're empathetic beings.
We'll see how enthusiastic you are.
Neil, I think they're super empathetic beings, and I'm not afraid if they show up on my doorstep.
That's so Sam. I love it.
You know, that's. Can I tell you how deep that is? Because practically every alien movie portrays them as evil, wanting to kill us. And so we have this sense that aliens are evil when in fact we have no knowledge about whether they're evil. But you know what we do have knowledge of? How we treat one another when we have a high technology civilization encountering a lower technology civilization. It never bodes well for the lower technology civilization. It never has throughout the history of exploration. So I think we are creating a mirror to ourselves as we construct the conduct of aliens. And so I gotta give you some credit there because maybe the aliens are nicer than we are.
Nice.
I think so.
Neil, I got to pay you a compliment. You always get that weird question. If you could have dinner with anybody alive or dead, who would that be? I got to tell you, Neil, you would be on my list. Definitely.
Oh, thank you.
You would definitely be on my list. It'd be me, you, and Leonardo da Vinci.
Well, it depends on what you're serving. What's for dinner?
But
I'm a little bit of a foodie, so I might be picky.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm a little bit of a foodie, so I might be picky when I get the invitation.
So is Jeff, though.
Leonardo's a vegetarian, so we're going to have to work around that. I don't know.
No.
But real quickly, Neil, before we go, maybe not in our lifetime, but do you think it's possible for humans to colonize somewhere in space in the future?
Yeah, it's definitely possible. The question is, why would you do it? All right, and here's what, okay, so let's say Mars, right? Mars has a 24-hour day. It has seasons, all right? It's not 900 degrees Fahrenheit like Venus, where if you go to Venus, you would vaporize. So Mars, like, why not? But to do it, you'd have to like build a habitat module there. And then when you go there, you're living sort of on Earth on Mars. And then it's not really living on Mars. So you got to terraform Mars. Then you could just step off the ship and live there. Problem is, all right, why would you want to live there? Did something bad happen on Earth? Did we mess up the climate? Well, if you have the power of geoengineering to turn Mars into Earth by terraforming it, you can turn Earth into Earth.
That's a great point.
That's a beautiful point.
Oh my God, he's so
very
smart.
Profound. Everybody, hey, so number one, thank you so much, Neil, but I want our DBL Nation to pick up your copy of Neil deGrasse Tyson's new book, Cosmic Queries. It will have all your answers about StarTalk. We appreciate you so much, Neil. We'll be right back.